So me and the guy talking, right? And I'm talking to him about what I call checking people's temperature, right? And I was like, yo, you should be able to quickly recognize when you're communicating with another person, where on the spectrum do they fall? Is this person more militant, more, strict, tough, real rigid? Or are they like more loose, silly, playful, whatever? And this is something you should be able to pick on relatively quickly. But at the same time, you can also test the waters and test them and see where, they also stand in their temperament, like their personality. And the example I gave, I said, let's say I get pulled over, right? I could tell very quickly, is this cop an asshole? Is this cop about to be a hardhead? Or is this cop about to be on, hey man, you were speeding, dude. Like, come on, slow down and try not to. It's ways that I can test immediately or quickly in a conversation to test his temperature, check that person's temperature. That's a specific example. And even it's the same with women. It's the same with that. But not only about checking a person's, checking their temperature and shit like that. A charismatic, charming, socially aware person knows that they can use their personality, their temperature, to influence the other person's. But I may also say, see the example I wanted to use with the guy, I said, let's say you're talking about you're at a networking event and there's these desks, there's these kiosks. This is the job. This is Microsoft and this is Apple, right? You want to be an engineer for them. You got the guy that's at the desk for Microsoft and then the girl that's at the desk for Apple. And you want to leverage your social skills to get a relationship here. And you gauge both of their personalities uniquely, right? The Microsoft guy, real strict, real stern, real totalitarian, real militant, military kind of style personality. So this type of person, I'm figuring it out. I can guess that discipline is important to them. Hard work is important. So I may move them by marketing myself in a way that describes the hard work I put in, the discipline, the persistency, the grit that I have, etc. Whereas though that may not move the woman at the Apple desk the same. She may take a humble, I persevered kind of story. I changed my life for the better kind of story. It may not move her for me to overemphasize my discipline and my ambition and things like that. Because that's not where her temperament is. Chat, is this making sense? And I'm the same person, but I may dictate and manipulate certain things and articulate it with a different way to get a different impact. And the more you interact with people, the more this shit is just instinctual. See, I can explain this and it can make a lot of sense to y'all, but you'll be put in a situation where you have to apply it or use it and you can't because you have not come across enough human beings. I mean, just think that I've come across thousands of people on a day-to-day basis in my high school alone, and then I'm going to work and I'm coming across hundreds every day, unique new people. So let's say my high school, I just get used to all the 2,500 people that's there, and then I go to work. I'm never gonna meet a person that's the same. So I just have to adapt. I have to get quick. I have to recognize things. I start noticing things naturally. You ain't even ready. You ain't even ready to catch certain things. You haven't even been exposed to certain things that I can catch or even know to look for. This is why you have to interact. You have to go for them. You have to see things. You have to prove what you think wrong by seeing that there's more. And that's what I've seen. That's why I look at situations and I may go on a pineapple show and she'd say pineapple for my age, but I may see in real life a girl said the same thing to me and I still got her and still fucked. So I know when that's said on that show, I know that don't mean nothing. I take that with a grain of salt because I've seen more. I've seen worse turn out better. So I'm unfazed by a situation like that. It won't even bother me in any way. Because I've made more from less. Come on, man. Positioning. You get better at all that finessing and positioning when you get in tougher situations. Dog, my best finesses and my best shit came from challenges, like challenging ass situations. Like, damn, like I'm looking back like, damn, I cooked. I didn't even think I was gonna make it out of there, but I went for it anyway. I tested myself, and I like, damn, I was like, oh shit. Or the test was, I ain't test myself on purpose, but I might have got caught up or in a dumbass sticky situation, and then I had to, step up. I understand what you're saying, but I can never add it to my game. Why? You have not put yourself in situations in the field to apply it. I had to, even if it wasn't spitting game with women. It might have been. I told you about the one job I had where we had to sell these reusable bags, and everybody else was so bad at selling them. I used to have a stack. I listen. I was so good at selling them things and talking to a customer, and then finesse it at the end. I had to do it in so many different situations. I got so good at it. I used to have a stack of them Jones, because when you would sell something, you would write your name on it. So I would just put Ty. Bro, I would have a stack, nigga. Shit wouldn't even fit in one hand. I used to have to hold it like this, and it would be sitting at whatever register I was using. And the manager or the supervisor would show all the other people like, yo, like look how many Ty could sell. And then it would get so bad that people will wait till I go on my hour break or half an hour break. I come back from break, and they may be like, look how much I sold. I'm like, man, you still ain't catch up to me, and I'm back, so I'm about to sell even more. But so many people would have a rough time selling them because let's say the customer come up and they would just say, would you like to buy one of our reusable bags? They're only $2. And the customer would say, no, thank you. It's all right. And I'm just listening. And the register's so close, I'm just listening to them get, rejected or fail to sell them. Sometimes this will literally happen. Before I even sell one, right? This is what make it a little bit harder for me, and I still will get it off. Before I even tried to pitch it, the person next to me already pitched it and just got rejected. So then now I know I have to bring it up, and my customer just heard somebody else say no. So then now I gotta use that on top of that, and now I gotta go against that. And then consciously I'm thinking about this because I know I'm gonna bring it up anyway. I know I'm gonna lead there. I know I'm gonna position myself to get there. Niggas like me love challenges. I still remember the drive I would get from having the finesse. Should make a Patreon video on this. I probably should because there's a lot of game in the situation. And this is where you get creative with. This is where you start talking to people. Like, listen, I might not even sell it by selling it. I may wait till I build some rapport. I build some rapport with them, right? Then I made a video. What was the title of it on Patreon? I build some rapport with them, right? And then I say, so I let them know what my kind of personality is like. Then I say, listen, I'll whisper to them like I'm telling them, doing them a favor. The whole time I'm trying to sell them this bag. I whisper to them like I'm doing them a favor. I'm saying, listen, one of these bags, they gonna rip before you even get out of the mall. You got a lot of stuff. You want one of these reusable bags. They only $2. Trust me. It'll save you a lot of time. And you could use it for whatever. You can put groceries in it. Listen, oh my God. You want to know what the real magic is? Let me pause the music. Let me really lock in. You want to know what the real magic was? I'm not saying I did the whisper tactic all the time, but that might have been one of my funniest ones, one of my favorites. So I might play with it. Some customers, guess what? I might have had them so sold on our conversation, on our interaction. We laughing, we smiling, we interacting, that they sell themselves. I'm trying to tell them things about the bag, and then they go, no, go ahead and scan it, because I already know it's going to rip. I don't even want, yup, I already know, yup, just go ahead and do it. I already positioned it where I made them think they want what I was about to give it to them, because they like me so much. This is what y'all got to understand, brother. I have seen people bend so much that the confidence I have in a challenging situation is so insane, y'all wouldn't even be able to see it. Y'all wouldn't even be able to understand. I swear to God, y'all wouldn't be. Y'all would not be able to understand where it comes from. Because it comes from being in situations. And I'm not even just talking about the selling the bag at this point. I'm talking about like shit way beyond this. I'm talking about, let's say, getting caught with this and finessing out of that. I'm talking about messing with a chick and then I get her and her cousin, or I get her and her close friend that she's known since 4th grade. All the wild, crazy shit that I've finessed and myself into, it really has gave me an undying confidence of like, anything is possible. But guess what? All this shit ain't 100%. It still ain't. You know what I'm saying? You don't become made by the rejection. Likewise, you don't become made by those successful situations. You just know you are the person who can do it. You just know you are. Like, whether it happens or not, I just know I can. I just know I'm the guy that can do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go for it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Shit, push come to shove. I know how to, all right, bam, boom. All right, we working with something. That's a deep level. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. That's why I hate when niggas get on here and you know, they get super black pill, whatever, and they get super statistical and everything. Like, 1%, such and such percent of men get all the women and blah, 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 this and blah, blah, blah. Because all of that does is tell you that you can't. And I'm not the kind of person who thinks like that. I'm not the kind of person who has lived a life. If I lived my life looking at what I should not be able to do, or what was unlikely possible for me to do, my life would be so different. My life would be so different if I only ever did what was likely for me to do. If I ain't never take risks, chances, challenge myself, or bet on myself, or act against the doubt, or act against the fear and the disbelief, or act against the facts, I would not be the man who I am today. I wouldn't. It probably would have been safer for me to go to a trade school than try to become a YouTuber and have and make money off of this. It's some low percentage of people that pass 100K subscribers or pass 200K or 300K. This was very I'm trying to tell you, if I only went for what was possible or likely or what had the highest chance of being done, I would not be who I am today. I am beating the odds in the flesh, and I love that for me. Because I feel like if me and another person walk around in the world, we just see the world differently. I just view so many things as possible, man. And I really convinced myself of that through the shit that I have done and achieved. And it has allowed me to know myself on a much deeper level. Real shit. And it's just sad when you see somebody who don't believe that they can or doesn't know that they can. Because they don't even know. They just strongly think they can't. They don't know. From watch the Allegory Decay for the 3rd time. Appreciate that, brother. I'm trying that right now with my YouTube. It has to be with everything, man. It wasn't even just with YouTube. I honestly, the confidence to start a channel and think I can get it off the ground, it may have came from other areas. It may have came from 1v3 and going at a group of women by myself. It may have came from getting a job that I wasn't even old enough to get, or getting a woman I wasn't supposed to be old enough to get, or getting in an AP class and getting a passing score on the exam, and you know, I barely studied, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or I had like a C in the class. I'm telling you, I can give you so many examples of shit that should not have happened but did. Random example. We ain't gotta make it by women and human interactions. In my AP biology class, I had like a C in the class. A C, right? We took the AP exam. Mind you, all the other students might have had. Mind you, it was people that had lower than C's or whatever, but it was the rare. Most of the kids in the class had like A's and B's, A's or high B's. But I was lazy. I was procrastinating. I didn't like doing homework, turning shit on time, whatever the case may be. Do you know when we took the AP exam, you can count on both hands how many people got a passing score, a 3 or higher, and I was one of them. All these students that had higher, my teacher specifically told me this. You would get a C or something on a test, and you went and took the exam and got your grade, or the AP, the national AP exam, and got your score, and these students was getting A's on the test we was taking, they take the AP exam, they get 2s and 1s. This is what I mean. By like, you can never. I'm unpredictable, and I love being that way. And I have shown myself through my own actions and my own belief in myself and my own audacity. Sometimes it don't even start with you. You have the results to back up who you think you are. Sometimes you just gotta have the audacity. Yeah, I got the audacity to go at her, to walk up to this group of these 5 women. I got the audacity to think I can get a girl like you, and you think you the shit, and you think I ain't shit. I got the audacity. I don't give a fuck, and I'ma still go for it. I got the balls to. Don't have to prove yourself to anyone but yourself. Exactly. But this is the point. This is the point. Trusting yourself and knowing yourself and developing that through your own experiences. But it gotta start up here, bro. It gotta start up here, or else you wouldn't even try. For real. That's the most honest answer. You know what I mean? And that shit start building up over time, and you'll be in. Yo, I'm telling you, that's poise. That's why I remember I showed you that Baki clip where he was like, "You draw." He's like, they say such and such could beat you, and he's strongest man and blah blah blah. And he looked back and laughed. He said, My critics always think always something until I show them. Like, yo, it was something crazy. It was a crazy ass, bold ass statement he made, man. It was the perfect poise, man. I think the ads just ran. Y'all gotta let me know if the ads ran or not. Yeah, caught it. When I really seen like my poise work craziest, I remember I had this one customer. It was like an early Saturday. She was coming in for a return. Now, anybody here ever worked retail? Oh my god. Y'all know if somebody's doing like a return or something and they don't have the receipt, what do we know about these customers? They always have the hardest heads. They always have they always be on bad time. You just know it. Return. You be like, oh my. You just know they coming on bad timing. You know they probably Karen, they in a bad mood. They about to try to fight you and haggle for. You know it. And I'm talking about, listen. I come in. Well, I was already there. She come in. She already arguing with the manager. She didn't even come to me straight. She went straight to the manager. And then he said, okay, blah, blah, blah. You can go scan over there. But they just damn near got done arguing. And mind you, my manager, it was a gay dude, right? So he gave her like slick attitude. They like arguing. Ma'am, you're going to have to, absolutely not, ma'am. You're not going to talk to me. Like he talking to her like this. So they like damn near having a heated argument. Like they damn near going back and forth, bro. So he's like, well, you can go to Ty, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? He's like, all right, Ty, just, blah, 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 bang, bang, boom. So I'm like, oh, shit, right? So I'm already hearing they hearing their conversation, right? So I'm like, all right, she's in a bad mood. She's, real attitude, blah, blah, blah. She come over, throw the stuff on the table, cross her arms. And I'm listening. Like I'm laughing and smiling right now, right? I had the same face, dog. I'm like, I got like this little grin to me. I'm like, I'm already knowing. Like, I didn't laugh. Like, I'm not trying to laugh at her. I'm just smiling. I'm just happy. I'm already knowing this is going to help shift the mood because I'm in a good mood. It's hard to be mad at somebody that's happy. She would have been mad at my manager if he would have been smiling and happy because they was just arguing. But I'm just a random person, so I'm just smiling. I'm like, hello, how are you? Like, and already I try to break her whole anger with my introduction and shift it. And I might have said something to her like, I understand that didn't go too well, but hopefully we can turn it out to be something better. And when I tell you that made her whole, like by the end of the interaction, come to find out she was like some recruitment manager for some like tech company. like, dog, she was really like somebody. She's like, here. She's like, how old are you? I was like, 17. She's like, okay, when you turn 18 in the summer, give me a call. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. You know, ended up giving me a whole opportunity. Left happy. Whole mood changed. Whole conversation opened up. She's like, oh, I actually, you know, my son and my daughter just went to college and blah, blah, blah. We started talking about my whole life and what I'm doing. And she cut. Why? Because I was already in a good. Like, you can really use your whole poise, your whole interaction, your whole engagement to change how a person feeling, even knowing that they coming in mad. And I done seen this. I done this so many times, and it's like, yo, coming from that, social skills is everything. Even when it comes to customer service and you talking to the other person, you arguing with them, yo, fuck you. Why this ain't that? I know it's a certain way to handle people to get what you want, and I know how to handle them. In professional or personal or whatever the interaction may be, and I'm gonna use that to my advantage.